Help to stay safe online. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from the FIDO Alliance is Executive Director and CEO Andrew Shikiar. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Fred, thanks for having me today.
A pleasure to meet you. So let's start with a bit of an overview. What is the FIDO Alliance? Not canine focused, I think.
Correct. This is not about dogs. This is about cybersecurity and making signing into websites and applications easier and more secure. FIDO Alliance is an industry body of over 300 companies worldwide who are working together to create open standards for simpler, stronger user authentication. So in short, we're working to eliminate our reliance on passwords in favor of passkeys, which stand to make the connected economy easier to access and far more secure.
So for those who may not be familiar, describe for us what passkeys are and how they work.
Yeah, so passkeys fundamentally change the way that we sign into applications and services for the better. They're built into all the devices that we use every day. Let's use an analogy here. So passkeys are a virtual lock and key, which must match precisely to sign into an app or a service. Now, the key is a passkey that sits on the user's device. You unlock or you activate that passkey in the same way that you unlock your device dozens of times each day. So oftentimes on your mobile phone, that might be using a face scan or fingerprint scan or a PIN code. Once you do that, your passkey then it communicates, sends an encrypted message to the lock on the server that needs to match precisely. So that's a unique key pair between the service and the device, and that's how you sign into things. So unlike a password, your passkey can never be stolen, it can't be faked, it can't be duped, it can't be guessed. Passkeys are highly secure and they're easy to use. Because even though it took me a few seconds to explain how it works, it's as simple as, say, using Face ID to sign into your favorite apps or services.
And that's what makes them more secure, I suppose, that they can't
Yeah,
be
so
guessed.
you think about it, even the most complex password, right, with a bunch of different characters and capital letters and numbers and things like that, those can and will be stolen. There's so many ways to have a password corrupted. It could be guessed, it could be stolen from a server, and more frequently, in fact, extremely frequently in the age of AI, a phishing attack, right? Phishing remains the #1 attack vector for hackers, and it's getting very easy to do an excellent phishing site. So someone will get an email that looks just like the email that they get from their bank or an e-commerce site, and maybe the message says, hey, you need to reset your password or come do an account update, and the user, unsuspectingly clicks on that link. They go to the site, they enter in their password, and then they expect to be taken to the site. But what's actually happened is that the hacker now has your password and goes to the real site to enter it. Now, even if you have that site protected with an OTP, a second factor code, the hacker can still hack in. So now envision that same flow. You go to your site to enter in your password. You're expecting an OTP to come on your phone, a text message. You get that, you enter it back in. Voila, you think you're safe, but actually the hacker is now entering that OTP code into the real site too. So any sort of human readable, quote unquote secret that you're using to access sites most likely is not secret, can and will be stolen to have your account taken over. With passkeys, that's simply not possible because there's nothing that a hacker can steal. There's nothing for them to enter. You are in possession of your passkey, and only you have possession of that, and only you can enter that to access a site.
If you set up the passkeys, are they going to work with all of your devices? I guess that's one of the hangups people might have, wondering about that.
Yeah, so every modern computing device can support passkeys. So whether you're on your mobile phone, an Android, an iPhone, if you're on a MacBook, a PC, an iPad, a tablet, all these devices, all the modern browsers support passkeys. So you can have a passkey on any of those devices. When you enroll a passkey, you can enroll multiple passkeys if you wish across your different devices. So if you want to have one for, say, your Apple devices, one for your PCs, one for Android, you can do that. Or you can let it roam across the devices, right? So once I have a passkey set up, you have an option of like shooting a QR code with your mobile phone to sign in with your passkey on, say a PC or a desktop computer or even a friend's computer. If you're at their house, you can use the passkey on your phone to sign in without actually installing it on their device. So there's a lot of flexibility. The good news is, we're doing everything we can to make sure passkey support is everywhere you need it to be, and it pretty much is.
So tell us where we stand today in terms of adoption of this technology.
Yeah, so passkeys have been available as a technology for just under 3 years. The vast majority of websites actually support passkeys. So over half the world's top 1,000 sites support passkeys. Here in the US, virtually every major e-commerce site gives you the option to use a passkey. So Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, Target, eBay, all these sites support passkeys. So do leading social media sites. So things like Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp and gaming services like Roblox, Nintendo, and PlayStation, plus banks and healthcare systems like Wells Fargo, CVS, and various health networks. So more and more, you're being prompted to use a passkey, so it's widely available. And I think, consumers should take confidence in that, in knowing that a lot of businesses are, expanding their passkey rollouts, and others are following suit because they see the benefits of doing so. Because generally, it means it's easier for you to sign in and way more secure. So as more and more sites support passkeys, I encourage your listeners to, when they're prompted to enroll a passkey, to do so, because it'll make your life easier and far more secure.
So does that mean if you're using, say, your bank app and it says, do you want to use your fingerprint or your face to log in? That's switching over to a passkey?
Not necessarily. So typically, on your phone, if it asks you, do you want to use your face or your fingerprint to sign in, oftentimes that's actually using the phone's built-in password manager or credential manager. So like on iPhone, it's called Apple Passwords. On Google, it's called Google Password Manager. Oftentimes, that's just storing your password for you. But the same flow works with passkeys. So actually, your passkeys are stored side by side with your passwords. So there'll be a subtle difference when you're enrolling a passkey in the text on the phone dialog that will say, do you want to enroll a passkey or store a passkey using, say, Face ID or using your thumbprint? And but it's the same flow. So you say yes, and then you have a passkey stored instead of a password in that password manager, and you use that to sign in moving forward.
And for people who are wondering, this is not giving them one more thing to remember, right? This is not, you're not doing that, right?
It's giving you one less thing to remember. I mean, there's a few things are more painful to me than a password reset. Because half the times I do a password reset, it goes to an email address I can't access, or it sends me a text message to the phone, I'm not getting it. So you don't have to remember any of that. All you have to remember is how you unlock your device, which is typically something you do literally dozens of times each day, especially on your mobile phone. So less to remember, less to worry about, simple, secure sign-in to sites all over the world.
So where can we all go to learn more?
Yeah, so you could go to your leading service provider to see if they support passkeys. Apple and Google also have great resources. And for those who are a bit more tech inclined, you can go to the FIDO Alliance website. You go to fidoalliance.org/passkeys. That'll explain what passkeys are and how you can use them.
And to come full circle here, tell us what FIDO stands for.
Yeah, so it's not about dogs, but there is a story there, Fred. So it's fast identity online. But when we named the alliance around 13 years ago, it was about, well, Fidelis. Fidelis means to trust. And that's where the root of FIDO, the dog, comes from. So the same root, just in this case, we're using it as an acronym, not as the name of a dog itself.
And again, the website is?
FIDOalliance.org/passkeys.
Andrew Shikiar, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Hey, Fred, thank you.